Welcome to another Southern Section CIF baseball game between the Redondo Seahawks and the Hawthorne Cougars. First pitch of the game is hit foul off of the left side, and we are underway. We greet you from Hawthorne, California, Hawthorne High School. This is Dave Marks, where we bring you this CIF ball game, final home game of the year for the Hawthorne Cougars. And they have Larry Williams on the mound, facing Mike Witcher for Redondo. Righty against lefty. 1 ball and 1 strike. Larry Williams starting this afternoon has won 5 and lost 2. This is the 11th game he's appeared in. Has a 1.67 ERA, which is the best on the staff. And that gets the knees for a call strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Seeing a game today where there's basically a battle for second place at hand, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that as this goes on. And there's strikeout number 1 on the afternoon. Witcher goes down swinging. So make that strikeout number 76 on the year for Larry Williams, who's been a big find for the Hawthorne Cougars. Doing well at the bat and on the mound. And they'll be looking for him to do both today. This is Zach Fraser hitting second in the order for Redondo. It's outside, ball 1. Redondo is undefeated in league play. They are 12-0 in the Ocean League, 18-6 overall. So they are headed to the playoffs through the number 1 spot. The battle is really for second place. Look at Fraser at the plate, coming in hitting over 365. Takes outside for ball 2. Redondo Seahawks having another fine year in the Ocean League. And that one was close, but the plate umpire says it is ball 3. Kim Cook calling the balls and strikes. Sean Talbot is the umpire in the field. He takes, looks like it was in the same spot. This time it's a strike, 3 balls and 1 strike. Trying to hit, he chops it towards short. Franco going to play the big hop. And he stays on the bag at first, Sarabria, for the 6-3 put out. I'll get the defense set for you quickly for the Hawthorne Cougars. Around the horn, Eddie Arciniega at third, Fernando Franco at short, Israel Castellanos at second, Oral Sarabria at first base. In the outfield, Cesar Seja. In left, Angel Lopez. In center, Paul Newton. In right, Tommy Salvatierra behind the plate. And Larry Williams on the mound facing Jeff Stimson, who will be his mound mate for this afternoon. He takes ball 1. Stimson is starting pitcher for Redondo. Comes in hitting 284 in this contest. That's a little slice into right field. It'll be in there for the base hit. So he saws one off the other way to get the first hit of the afternoon. And the Redondo Seahawks have a 2-out base runner, bringing Andy Guy to the plate. Andy Guy, their leading hitter, coming in hitting over 500 on the year. Redondo not a big team power-wise, but one of those teams that can sting you to death. That pitch is outside and high, ball 1. Take a look, their leading home run man with 3 home runs compared to Hawthorne. But it's the ability to manufacture those runs consistently that really counts. And that's what keeps you winning at this level. So here a hitter's count, 2 balls and no strikes to Andy Guy. Stimson off of first with a decent lead. And it's in for a call strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Nick Bazart is the on-deck batter. It's a good hit run pitch. Runner doesn't go. And that misses a little low. 3 balls and 1 strike. So he's gone to 3-1 in his second hit. A runner goes. This one is fouled off. Have the runner in motion at first base, Jeff Stimson. He'll have to do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Larry Williams not overly concerned about the runner at first. Of course, he'll be off here with 2 outs in the top of the first inning. On the full count to Andy Guy. Williams working quickly. It bounces low for ball 4. So Williams, who has 76 strikeouts, now gets his 18th walk. Surrenders his 18th walk. That's relatively high compared to the number of innings he's pitched.
Now batting the catcher, Nick Bozart, number 3.
Larry Williams has now pitched 6 innings. This brings up Nick Bozart. He's a catcher, hitting number 5 in the order for Redondo, looking for a 2-out hit. Chop toward short. They'll go the easy way for the out. And that'll retire the side. Redondo leaves 2 on a base hit and a walk. We're through 1/2 inning on a cloudy day in Hawthorne, California. Redondo nothing. Hawthorne coming to bat after this. Eddie Arciniega lead off the bottom of the first for the hometown Hawthorne Cougars. Arciniega hitting .377. Leads the team with 15 walks. And he'll be facing a hot pitcher in Jeff Stimson this afternoon for Redondo. Stimson, very impressive. Comes in with 105 strikeouts. That's 1 ball and 1 strike. Around the horn for Redondo, Andy Guy at third, Corey Siegel at short, Davis Rowe, who's being DH for at second, Mark Reyes at first. On the 1-1 pitch, Arciniega fouled off. Zach Fraser is in left field, Nate Lacey in center, Mike Witcher in right, Nick Bozart behind the plate, and Jeff Stimson on the mound. He of 105 strikeouts. Pitching to Eddie Arciniega, who doesn't strike out often. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Eddie Arciniega has been one of the key cogs of this Hawthorne attack here in his senior season. He can play short. He's playing third today, and of course he can pitch. He is the winningest pitcher on the Cougar staff. 2-2 is grounded toward the right side. Rowe makes a good play, going to his right, and he makes the first put out of the bottom of the first. So Arciniega retired. This brings up Fernando Franco. Fernando Franco hitting second in the order here today. He comes in hitting .361. 30 hits in 83 times at bat. Tied for at bats with Larry Williams. And he swings and misses at the breaking pitch. No balls and 1 strike. Fernando Franco playing short. One of those table setters at the top of the order. Try to set it up for Larry Williams and Tommy Salvatierra. Way outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Hawthorne Cougars are battling their crosstown rival, the losing Olympians, and North Torrance for playoff spots. They take the top 3 teams in the Ocean League. Redondo Union is in. They've got it mailed and locked up. And, of course, you've got 3 teams trying to fill out 2 spots. Now he's way behind, 3 balls and 1 strike. In danger of putting a fairly fast man on base. Stimson 3-1 is grounded toward the hole. Nice play made by Rowe. And he's got both assists in the inning, 2 away. Rowe going over to his right to take the bouncer. Larry Williams will be the batter. Lots been said about this young man this year. He right now is a Triple Crown threat for the Hawthorne Cougars, coming in hitting .578. Got 9 home runs and 46 RBIs. Off-speed pitch in there for a call strike. The Hawthorne bench and fans don't agree with that particular call. Williams leading the team in doubles and singles. Leads the team in hits and runs scored, and tied for the team lead in at-bats. So he's been a big find. Played on the Cougar basketball squad and also plays in the RBI League, the reviving baseball in the inner city program started by John Young Jr. out here in Southern California. John Young, a former Detroit Tiger who roomed with Gates Brown in the 70s. Waste went outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He appears to have cooled off somewhat the second half of the year as far as the long ball. You figure pitchers, his reputation gets around. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And you see here Stimson not giving him anything that he can drive. He started him off with the off-speed pitch. He's giving him nothing but breaking balls. Gonna try not to let him extend those hands. Fouls that one off. You have Tommy Salvatierra, power hitter on deck, so it doesn't get easy for Jeff Stimson. It's a 2-2 to the lefty. And he goes the other way, slaps it into left field. That will be a foul ball. A little behind that one. And you know, we have in the booth with us here today, as always, Linda, our statistician, and she does the scoreboard, does the PA system. Linda's our advanced broadcast scout. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Fouls that one off. So this is an impressive pickup for the Hawthorne Cougars this year. Here on a cloudy, unusually cloudy for this time of May, first week in May. Never seen the sun not shine at this field. And it's grounded toward the hole. Rowe making a bid to get all 3 assists in the inning. And they go in order in the bottom of the first. So we are through 1 here at Hawthorne, and we've got no score with the Hawthorne Cougars and Redondo Union Seahawks. Back with the second in a moment.
First baseman, Mark Reyes. On deck, the designated hitter, Brad Phillips. And in the hole, the shortstop, Corey Seagull.
We're in the top of the second inning. Nick Bazart. Make that Mark Reyes will lead it off here. Using Larry Williams. Low, 1 ball and no strikes. Mark Reyes comes in hitting .344 on the year for Redondo. Fastball upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Brad Phillips, designated hitter, on deck. First inning, Williams went to a couple of 3-ball counts. We're giving up a base hit and a walk and retiring the side. That one way outside. It goes behind here. 3 balls and no strikes. It's the second to last regular season game for the Hawthorne Cougars. These 2 teams play in a couple of days at Redondo. Redondo bidding for an undefeated season in Ocean League. Hawthorne trying to nail down a playoff spot. That's to the left side. It'll make it onto the street and out of play. For the game here this afternoon, the Hawthorne JV waiting around to take their trip over to Redondo. It seemed like it took forever for that bus to get here. They were a little worried that they weren't going to make their game. The payoff pitch, and it just misses low for ball 4. So second walk on the afternoon. That ball didn't miss by very much that time, but it is a walk number 19 on the season. And it brings to the plate Brad Phillips. We'll see if they put anything on here with nobody out. Runner doesn't go, fakes the bunt, and it's in there for a call strike. Phillips hitting .204. He's a designated hitter here this afternoon. That's bounced and gets away from Salvatierra. Runner's going to go down to second, and he'll make it without a throw. That'll be a wild pitch. Sending Mark Reyes. So Larry Williams with a little wildness this inning. Timeout called in the field by Sean Talbot. wants to talk to Kim Cook about what I don't know. Maybe they're watching the motion of the pitcher, Larry Williams. He's been wild in this half inning. Told you he worked to count out the 3 balls and 1 strike and a full count in the first inning. We're giving up a base hit and a walk. Right here he's in danger of, well, they're giving the runner first base. Did they say he was hit by the pitch? This will be an interesting ruling. Well, we hear Tommy Salvatierra. He turns around and he said the ball hit him. So what do we have here? Now, you can, I don't know if you can make it out in the microphone, but Coach Jeff Hines talking to Kim Cook saying, how could the umpire in the field call that? You see them talking there. And that's an interesting question because the plate umpire, Kim Cook, didn't call it. We are behind the plate here. We're actually closer. Of course, the umpire doing the balls and strikes, Kim Cook, you can't get much closer than that. We're closer than the umpire in the field, Sean Talbot, and from where we sit here in the little press box, it didn't look like it hit the batter, but he said it hit him, and that puts runners on first and second. So instead of the wild pitch, it becomes a hit batsman. And umpire Sean Talbot turning around saying, I tell you what I saw. Jeff Hines saying, no way, no way. And Jeff Hines, I've never known him to be overly emotional, but this is about as heated as I've seen him get in the couple of years that I've covered Hawthorne baseball. Well, now they look to bunt. It's a fairly good bunt. They'll get to play it first. Sacrifice is accomplished with Corey Siegel getting it down. So give Siegel a sacrifice. The play goes 1-3. And they advance the runners to second and third, 1 away. 8th man in the order, Siegel doing his job, and it brings up Nate Lacey. Nate Lacey hitting 9th in the order, center fielder today for Redondo. Infield is going to play back at second and short, up a little bit at third. They would probably be willing to surrender a run to give up the big inning to not allow them to get the big inning. Second and third, they're going to throw to third. Not very close. Rios dives back in. Rios led this inning off with a walk. And then they say Brad Phillips was hit by a pitch. And Nate Lacey at the bat with 1 out, trying to get Redondo on the board. That's up high for ball 1. Jeff Hines is going to go to the mound as time is called. You can see this inning, Larry Williams looks like either his motion is off or he's overthrowing. He's got the heat, but he is not placing it. Looking down there at the dirt on the mound, I don't know if he's having problems with his footing, but does not look comfortable this half inning. Yeah, no matter how you look at it, this batter right here, Nate Lacey, definitely someone you want to retire. Even if you do give up 1 run, because then you go back to the top of the order that can do more damage potentially. So this is a big situation here in this ball game. 2 pitchers come in very tough to score on. So runs should be at a premium. That's chopped toward third, and it's going to be a foul ball. Runner going on contact. Mark Rios is the runner at third, Brad Phillips at second. And Nate Lacey will resume his time at bat. 1 ball and 1 strike. Outfield is in fairly shallow. If he hits one over their heads, you tip your cap to him. That's a line drive, and that's going to get 2 runs in. It'll take a bounce back to the wall. And Nate Lacey on his way to second, rounding second. Had an idea about going to third, but he'll stay there with a double up the gap in left center field, and it's 2-0 Redondo. So the 1-1 pitch, he was all over it. Double and 2 RBIs to the delight of the Redondo fans in attendance. And that pitch did not fool Nat Lacey one bit. Hit that one well. Didn't try to overswing. Just went right with it and served it up the gap in left center field. Mike Witcher up for his second time of the ball game. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. Struck out swinging. So Larry Williams having his problems on the mound this inning. Been a little wild. And gave up the well hit ball. That's in for a strike, 1-1. That's on the corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, since Jeff Hines went out to the mound, of course, Williams is working from the stretch right here. He slowed down somewhat. Of course, he surrendered the hit. That's a ground ball. They will go to the pitcher covering, and it's a 3-1 put out. So Witcher grounds out. Base runner Nate Lacey moving on up to third base. And Zach Fraser will be the batter. Fraser's 0 for 1. He was up one time and grounded to shortstop.
Now batting Zach Frazier.
Williams going to work from the stretch. That fastball outside. You could definitely see something was wrong with his rhythm this inning. Giving up the base hit probably because felt he had to lay one in there to the number 9 batter. And Nate Lacey certainly served it, hit it hard. So he didn't actually hit it over their heads, but you tip your cap to him anyway. That's at the knees for a call strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Williams trying to get out without any further damage. Hawthorne behind already by 2, facing a very tough Jeff Stimson this afternoon, who is very stingy as far as allowing runs. Foul tipped, not able to be held on to by Salvatierra at the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Squeeze it.
Redondo 18-6 overall. 2-2, the fast one outside. Redondo with 2 in here in the top of the second. And Williams 2-2, he gets him. So second strikeout on the afternoon, 77th on the year for Larry Williams, but not before a little wildness sandwiched in between a big 2 RBI double. Walk, a hit batsman, and 1 left in the middle of the second inning. Redondo 2, Hawthorne nothing. Back with the bottom in a moment.
The center fielder, Angel Lopez.
Bottom of the second we go. Tommy Salvatierra will be leading it off. Hawthorne trailing 2-0 by virtue of the 2 runs scored by Redondo in the top half of the inning. And the cleanup hitter will try to get something going against Jeff Stimson. Fastball up high, 1 ball and no strikes. Tommy Salvatierra on the year hitting at .441, second on the team as far as average is concerned. 30 hits in 68 at-bats. He's at 21 RBIs. Got a .338 on-base percentage coming into this ball game. As the sun attempts to break through here at Hawthorne. 1-1 pitch. Tries to hold up. Plate umpire says he went around. They check it out at first, and he's not able to check the swing, so it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, you see one difference between Jeff Stimson and Larry Williams is obviously Stimson feeling a lot more comfortable and a lot more smooth on the mound, but he appears to have a wicked changeup, and he uses it there as he takes something off, and Tommy Salvatierra becomes the strikeout victim. Strikeout number 106 on the year for Jeff Stimson. So it takes more than a fastball to strike somebody out. It's all a matter of location. Get him to respect that changeup as Paul Newton comes to the plate. Newton watches one downstairs for ball one. Paul Newton hitting .458, 33 hits and 72 times at bat. Leads the team in triples with 3. That's a high chop. And they'll go to first for the easy out. So the sort of mini Baltimore chop. Jeff Stimson has retired all 5 batters he's faced so far, and right here he'll face Angel Lopez. Lopez, the left fielder, comes in hitting .380, 27 for 71. Has 25 RBIs on the year. And playing a good defensive left field is Angel Lopez. Watches ball one. Earl Sarabria is on deck for Hawthorne. And we're told by Linda it's Sarabia. Actually, she whispered. It's Sarabia. 1 ball and 1 strike. He's on deck. They have shortened the little stands here at Hawthorne. They did a lot of remodeling here at this school complex of football and track field. Went a major overhaul last year, which is off to our right. And they kind of repaved part of the area where the stands are here. Kind of made the bleacher areas a little smaller. 3 balls and 1 strike. Stimson went to 3-1 on Fernando Franco in the first inning and got him to ground out. And it's foul back. Angel Lopez trying to be a hitter, figuring he'll get a good one on 3-1. And either way, Stimson has been pitching. You'd look to see him try to throw something off speed here, not give in with him. Comes to the fastball and he fouls that one off. So it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch very tough to Larry Williams and Tommy Salvatierra. Not giving in to them at all. And here's another payoff pitch. That's grounded to third. Nice hop at third base for Andy Guy. And decides to retire it in order. So 6 up and 6 down for Hawthorne through 2 innings. It is Redondo 2, Hawthorne nothing. Back with the third in a moment. Jeff Stimson takes strike 1 from Larry Williams. Stimson had a base hit his first time up, opposite field hit. 1 ball and 1 strike. Larry Williams trying to settle down after a rocky second inning. That's bounced on the plate, 2 balls and 1 strike. These 2 guys go at it today who could pitch and play other positions, as most of them do in high school. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike. So Williams working another deep count to a leadoff hitter. That's in the right spot. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Comes with a fastball and strikes him out. 3rd strikeout on the afternoon for Larry Williams.
Now batting the 3rd baseman, Andy Guy.
Larry Williams now with 20 strikeouts on the year. Andy Guy at the dish. He was up 1 time and walked. Off-speed pitch gets the inside corner. 1 ball and no strikes. Looked like Andy Guy was expecting something else that time. Tries to hit the same spot with a fastball, but misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 delivery. That's bounced on the plate. That ball bounces on the plate. You got to believe it's some sort of breaking ball that's breaking a little too soon. If he can spot that properly, it'll be effective. Pass ball on 2-1. It's in there for a call strike on the outside corner. Good location. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Larry Williams trying to settle it down. Give his team a chance to stay in the ball game, and that one is hit in the air to left field. Lopez going back, makes it a can of corn for 2 outs. So Guy flies to deep center field. Had him played well. And Nick Bizart will be the batter.
Now batting, Nick Bizart.
Hit into a force play his first time up. Fastball outside, ball 1. Bizart came in hitting .356. Smoker on the outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. Nothing you could do with that one but hit it to the opposite field if you make contact. Comes inside and pops him up. Salvatierra looking for it, says he's got it, and they go in order. So an easy inning for Larry Williams here in the top of the 3rd and through 2.5. It's a Redondo 2, Hawthorne nothing. Back with the bottom of the inning in a moment.
On deck, the designated hitter, Joey Vega, and in the hole, the second baseman, Israel Castellanos.
Oral Sarabria will be leading it off here. Batter number 7 in the order. Bottom of the 3rd, 2-0 Redondo. And facing Jeff Stimson outside for ball 1. Sarabia hitting .310 coming into this ball game. Grounds that one towards short. Siegel with the opportunity, double pumps, but able to get rid of it in enough time to get a fairly slow runner. And that's 7 in a row retired now by Jeff Stimson. Joey Vega, designated hitter, will be the batter. Joey Vega hitting .333, batting 8th in the order. Fouls that one off the backstop, 0 balls and 1 strike. Well, in between innings, Linda has the job of playing selected cuts over the PA system. And you should have heard what they played in between this last inning. Says it was Larry Williams, the pitcher's favorite song. No balls and 1 strike, that's fouled off. No balls and 2 strikes. We thought it was by Limp Bizkit. Now we're told it was by Metallica. That's funny. I could have thought it was by the Young Rascals. Their name's what? Sum 41 it's called, we're told in the truck. Tries to hold up on the swing. Plate umpire says he went, so they'll have to complete the play, and they do. So that's a strikeout, and it goes 2-3. Strikeout number 107 on the year for Jeff Stimson, who has had a fairly go of it. 9th man in the order, Israel Castellanos, will be the batter. Israel Castellanos hitting .345. And he takes up high for ball 1. Castellanos leads the team in a rather dubious category. He has struck out 14 times to lead the team. Plays second base. That's in the same spot and out of the strike zone, 2 balls and no strikes. So talking about that Metallica. Wonder if anybody in the truck or anyone in the audience ever heard of a band called the Trashmen, who had a song called The Surfin' Bird. 2 balls and 1 strike. That was about as wild as you could get in 1960. I guess they had the Throgs Wild thing. That's grounded toward second base. Rowe with another chance. He'll underhand toss the pitcher covering. And the side goes in order. So Jeff Stimson has retired all 9 batters that he's faced, and we've completed 3 quick ones here in Hawthorne, California. It's Redondo Union Seahawks 2, Hawthorne Cougars nothing. Back with the 4th in a moment. Mark Reyes will lead it off here in the Top of the fourth inning. Got things started in the second when Redondo scored their 2 runs. Takes outside for ball 1. Walked his first time up and came around to score on a base hit by Nate Lacey. Facing Larry Williams. One hit in the air to the left side. Arciniega looking for it over near the dugout. And they catch it off the fence. Nice catch by Eddie Arciniega. Right in front of the Redondo dugout. They claim it hit the fence, but home plate umpire Kim Cook right out there to make the call. And they retire Mark Reyes. Good play by Eddie Arciniega. Tommy Salvatierra right over there with him to back him up. A lot of times on plays like that, you'll see the ball tip out of one man's glove and another man sort of make the assist. As we look at Brad Phillips, foul went off the other way. Brad Phillips in a controversial play in the second inning. Said he was hit by a pitch, ball thrown in the dirt with Reyes on at first. It was going to be a wild pitch, but then the umpire in the field, Sean Talbot, said he was hit by the pitch, so that put runners on first and second with nobody out. So he scored the second Redondo run. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Up high, 2-1. We're talking about that play made by Eddie Arciniega over there at third. You can recall, I guess it was in the 1980 World Series in Philadelphia where they went over, I guess it was Bob Boone and Pete Rose. That ball has eyes for center field, and it's in there for the base hit. Third hit on the afternoon for Redondo, first for Brad Phillips. And he's a 1-out base runner here in the 4th inning. So before that base hit, Larry Williams had settled down to retire 6 in a row. Now he will face batters 8 and 9. Corey Siegel up one time. He sacrificed to move the runners along. Not bunting here. He takes ball 1. Started to talk about that 1980 World Series. It was in the 9th inning, actually. Kansas City and Philadelphia. I believe Bob Boone was the catcher for Philadelphia. Went over by the first base dugout when the Royals popped it up and went off his glove, and Pete Rose, of all people, caught it. Charlie Hustle right over there with him to make the assist. Then Tug McGraw came in and struck out Willie Wilson rather, to end that ball game. 2 balls and no strikes. Tug McGraw jumping all over the mound after he got that strikeout. Then that 1980 World Series, the first one played on all artificial turf, if my memory serves me correct. That's a high chop. Probably not going to be in time to get 2. They'll try anyway, and they get it. Didn't think they'd have enough time on that high chop, but Castellano stood right in there and took the charge from the base runner Brad Phillips, so it becomes a 6-4-3 double play to retire the side. Through 3 1/2, it is Redondo 2, Hawthorne nothing. Back with the bottom of the 4th in a moment. Go back to the top of the order in the 4th inning. Hawthorne Cougars and Eddie Arciniega up to the plate. He's 0 for 1, now hitting .371 on the year. Jeff Stimson retired the Hawthorne order in order. First time around, tries to bunt, pushes it up the first base line. They'll have to make it the tag play, and they do. Getting off the mound, Jeff Stimson with a tag, tagging out Eddie Arciniega. Arciniega had the right idea, trying to get on base, trying to bring the tying run to the plate. Not able to. If he was able to push it past the pitcher, he probably gets his bunt base hit. But right off that mound, Jeff Stimson, who is a utility infielder, coming over to make a nice play and tag Arciniega. So 1 away for Fernando Franco. He grounded out his first time up. And he looks at strike 1. Fernando Franco hitting .357 at the moment. Rounded towards second. That's Rowe with it. Easy play. Room service to first. And there are 2 quick outs. So Jeff Stimson not even working up a sweat, as Larry Williams will be the batter. Larry Williams 0 for 1. Hitting .541. You see this room service throw to first. Can't get it any easier than that if you walk it over there yourself. And it's call strike one. First pitch to Larry Williams. That time he saw a fastball, probably the last one he's going to see. In this at bat, he saw a steady diet of off-speed pitches his first time up before grounding out. They know he's got power. That's in for call strike two in the inside corner. Larry Williams leads the team in every single category. He's down 0-2. And he'll waste one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. His catcher, Nick Bizarre, crawling around in the dirt. 11 straight batters have been retired this afternoon by Jeff Stimson. And it's in there for a call strike three. Took something off and gets the call strikeout. Third on the afternoon, 108 on the season. And we've completed 4 here in Hawthorne, California. Redondo Union Seahawks 2, Hawthorne Cougars nothing. Back with the 5th in a moment.
On deck, Mike Witcher, and in the hole, Zach Frazier.
Well, as we go to the top of the 5th inning, so far the batting hero of the ball game for Redondo, Nate Lacey, will lead it off. He's hitting 9th in the order. He had a big double up the gap in left center field to drive in the only 2 runs of the ball game. Came in the 2nd inning when Larry Williams was having all kinds of problems out there on the mound. 1 ball and 1 strike. And figuring you wanna, the situation was 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. They were willing to give up at least 1 run at the time to avoid the big inning, and you figured you want to give him something, not necessarily that he could smash, but don't want to fool around and play around with the 9th man in the order. And Nate Lacey says, I'll show you what kind of number 9 batter I am. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And he watches that one for 2 balls and 2 strikes. You know, at this level, you cannot always assume that a number 9 hitter can't hit. And of course, at this level, you can't assume that a pitcher can't hit, as we're seeing here today. Very often at this level, it'll be some other person that gets DH'd for. In this instance, Davis Rowe being DH'd for Redondo, not batting. And Cesar Seja the other way. That's grounded toward short. Franco's got to come in on a gallop. Off balance throw, he gets him. Good play by Franco to charge that ball. 1 away here in the top of the 5th, and Mike Witcher back to the plate. He's 0 for 2 in the afternoon, struck out swinging and grounded pitcher to first. Came in hitting .375. Williams' first offering has an idea about bunting. These 2 teams will play again at Redondo. And they're going to play a night game over at Redondo. Redondo has lights for a while here this afternoon. I thought we were going to need lights here. They have them on the football field, not on the baseball field. It was still not fully sunny, but the sun has made an attempt to break through here. But before this, about an hour before this game started, it almost looked like threatening drizzle. Drizzled in some parts of the Southland earlier today. 0-2 pitch fouls that off. Everyone's saying rather unusual weather for the month of May. Are you going to blame it on El Nino? That's what people were blaming it on a couple of years ago. You just never know, do you? We had a warm month of February for those of you who live out here. March and April were anything but usual. And there's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mike Witcher. And it's into left field for a base hit. It's going to be extra bases. Paul Newton giving it a chase. And he's going to try for 3. Here's a throw coming to third. It is not good. It's in time, but it hits the runner. So he will have a triple. Mike Witcher hitting that ball down the line. Paul Newton did a good job to get to it, but I don't think he made the strongest throw to the cutoff man. But once it did hit the cutoff man, as we're going to see the base runner, Witcher, heading toward third. The throw beat him, but actually into the runner. And, of course, if he's able to field that cleanly, they probably have him at third. But nevertheless, it'll be a triple for Mike Witcher now. He's on with Zach Fraser at bat. They'll throw over to try to keep him close. Of course, you don't think he's going to steal home plate, do you? Infield is going to play up at third. Back at second and short, and in a little at first. And you'd figure with a 2-0 game as it hits him. So, so much for the strategy. Started to say with a 2-0 game, probably want to cut that run off at the plate, as runs are very much at a premium for Jeff Stimson today. But that's going to put runners at first and third. And right now the double play is in order. Well, home plate umpire Kim Cook was talking to Hawthorne head coach Jeff Hines. I think Hines' contention was that, did Zach Fraser make an attempt to get out of the way of that? He didn't think so. Plate umpire says yes, so Hawthorne 0 for 2 as far as their opinions today. With Stimson on the mound, takes strike one, has a chance to help his own cause. Got a base hit and struck out swinging. Got good speed on at first. You know they'd want to stay out of the double play. Hawthorne turned one last inning. So throw to first to keep Zach Fraser. Fraser you might want to worry about a little bit. More so than the runner at third. You might want to keep him close to keep the double play in order. The fake throw to third and throw to first, which at this level sometimes gets people. Zach Fraser, the runner at third, he tripled. Rather, Mike Witcher at third, he tripled Fraser, hit by the pitch. That one outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, the story of the game right now offensively, Nate Lacey has doubled a drive in 2 runs. And on the other side, Jeff Stimson has retired all 12 batters to face him. And so you can see how important it is for Hawthorne to try to cut off these runs right here if they can. Pitch to the plate, and that's a little soft one, and it's going to be in the center field for a base hit. A run will score, it's a base hit, and a run batted in, and it's 3-0 Redondo. Well, Fernando Franco did a good job at kind of decoying there at short, making it look like he might have a chance to catch that ball, but it was butterflied over his head for a base hit and an RBI. And so the triple pays off. It'll still be runners on first and second, and Andy Guy will be the batter. Guy has had a walk and fly it out to fairly deep center field. Infield still looking for 2 with 1 out. And it's an off-speed pitch for a call, strike 1. That third run very crucial for Redondo. And if they get even more, it's going to be a big, tough hill to climb. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hawthorne battling for one of the last 2 playoff spots. And they're battling 2 other teams. Losing are North Torrance. Both runners go. Pitches inside. Throw to third. They're going to have him. So a double steal does not work on the front end. As the pitch was a ball, Zach Fraser is thrown out. Tommy Salvatierra to Eddie Arciniega. That play goes 2-5. So they attempt the double steal. They picked the right pitch to do it. But a good throw by Tommy Salvatierra to nail Fraser. Stimson does get the stolen base at second. And the count is 2-1 to Andy Guy. And they intentionally walk him, first base being open. So they give Andy Guy the intentional walk. You don't have to, here at this level, throw all 4 outside. You can just say, I want to put him on, and that's what they do. So it's runners at first and second to keep the force at any base. And I believe we're going to have a pinch hitter for Nick Bazart. Pinch hitter for Nick Bazart. We'll get it checked out.
Number 12, David Cherise.
So David Cherise, the batter. He will be the pinch hitter. Batting for Nick Bazart. And Cherise is a power hitter. He can launch it. 3 home runs to lead the team. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Floats one up high for a ball. The coach, Tim Amentorp, for Redondo, going to the bench here in the 5th inning. Tries to hold up, and he does. Count is 3 balls and no strikes. And the coaching staff telling him, don't try to do too much, don't try to yank it. He'll come in the game to catch as he takes ball 4. So it's ball 4. Bases are loaded now. There are 2 outs. Mark Reyes, the batter, looking for a big 2-out base hit,
Now batting Mark Reyes.
which could blow this game open. First pitch to him is on the outside corner for a call strike. Williams trying to get out of this bases loaded jam. That's bounced low for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Started with a ground out, then Mike Witcher hit a triple down into the right field corner on a play where it looked like he was going to be out at third, but the relay throw came up and hit him. He was safe. Zach Fraser hit by a pitch. Jeff Stimson had a single to drive and a run. On a double steal attempt, Fraser was thrown out at third. They intentionally walked Andy Guy. David Cherez came into bat for Nick Bizart, and he walked. Right here it's 1 and 2 to Mark Reyes. Larry Williams trying to get out of the bases loaded jam. And it's a chop to second. He may get out of it. Castellanos with a throw, closer than usual play at first base, but they do retire the side and they leave 3 loaded. But 1 run does come across on 1 hit, 2 walks, a hit batsman, and 3 left on. We're in the middle of the 5th inning. It is now Redondo 3, Hawthorne nothing. Back at the bottom of the 5th in a moment. Ground ball hit towards second. Bobbled at second. They kick it around. They try to throw. And just in time. Davis Rowe playing little basketball with the ball at second. And the play at first is very close. And the umpire, Sean Talbot, says he's out. So Tommy Salvatierra grounding out. We're going to take another look at that one. You see there, he kicked it around. He stayed with it, which is what they tell you to do. And at first, very close, but back to live action. The ball hit into center field, and it's going to be in there for the base hit. So it's in there for the base hit, and there goes the no-hitter, as they say. And I got to tell you, how many times have you seen situations where no-hitter, now that, you know, I do believe in that so-called superstition. You don't talk about no-hitters and all that, so I'll go on record as saying I am somewhat superstitious. But how many times have you seen when no-hitters are continued on questionable calls, either by the scorer or by the umpire, when right after that somebody comes back and breaks it up? And that's what Paul Newton does on the first pitch. So after we watched that replay, where you could see it was on the replay, Salvatierra did look safe. After today, from the angle that we saw it, but the umpire in the field called him out. But Newton took care of the no-hitter on the very first pitch, grounding it into center field for the first base hit on the afternoon, surrendered by Jeff Stimson. But it's 3-0. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Angel Lopez. Redondo set up for 2. Newton with a short lead at first. Doesn't go, and it's hit the other way. Paul Newton with the first base hit on the afternoon. It's now hit number 34 on the year for him. Joe Lopez at the plate, hitting .375. And here's the pitch. That's bounced low. And Bezart, who was pinch hit for on the re-entry rule, he stays in the ball game. makes a block on that play. He was pinch hit in the top of the inning for David Charez. Came in the ball game and walked. So it's full, 3-2, trailing 3-0 with 1 out. Do you gamble and send a runner here? Runner doesn't go, and it's grounded in the hole to the left field for a base hit. Back-to-back singles now for the Hawthorne Cougars here in the 5th inning. So after retiring 13 in a row, Jeff Stimson gives up 2 base hits. Oral Sarabria will be the batter. He's up 1 time and he grounded out, hitting .306 on the year. Hawthorne trying to get something going with 1 out here off of Jeff Stimson. We just shut everything down until those 2 hits. And they were not cheap hits either. First pitch to Oral. That's bounced away. Ball gets away. Runners are going to move up. That'll be a wild pitch. Well, we saw Larry Williams have all kinds of problems in the 2nd inning. And so far, this 5th inning has not been an easy one for Jeff Stimson, who had a no-hitter going for 4 1/3 innings. That's in for a call strike at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. There are quite a bit of Redondo fans here today, as well as Hawthorne fans, of course. That's a little chop. It's going to be a fair ball. A run will score. Play to first base is not going to be in time. Everybody's safe. So a little bleeder up the 3rd baseline. That'll be an infield hit and an RBI for Oral Sarabria. And Hawthorne is on the board.
Now batting, Joey Vega, the designated hitter.
So that worked almost as effectively, almost better than a bunt, I guess you could say. After retiring the first batter on a questionable play at first base, Jeff Stimson gives up 3 singles in a row, 2 of them hard hit, 1 at the right spot, and we're going to have a courtesy runner on at first base. For the Hawthorne Cougars, Jose Torres will be that courtesy runner. He'll be running for the slower Oral Sarabria. And it's grounded into the glove of the pitcher. Throw back to second, not in time. So a line drive by Joey Vega. That's caught by Stimson. He made a nice play. That ball was ticketed for center field. So he makes a nice catch. On the follow through. He did that like a hockey goalie. And a runner getting back to second base just in time, Angel Lopez, to avoid the double play. So 2 outs now, runners at first and second. 3-1 ball game. It'll be up to Israel Castellanos to try to continue things for the Hawthorne Cougars. He's hitting .339 at the moment. Swing and a miss. Castellanos is up 1 time and grounded out pitcher to first. Hawthorne Cougars with their chances here in the bottom of the 5th against Jeff Stimson. That's bounced low. He's already had 1 wild pitch in this inning. 3 singles in a row, sandwiched in between a wild pitch and that ball that was tagged by Vega, but he made a nice catch on it. Doesn't get there. That ball goes into center field, and Hawthorne has got another run. 1-1 pitch. That's on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, the Hawthorne Cougars came to life here in this inning, trying to extend it. Runners at first and second. And Castellanos, who leads the team in strikeouts, has done it for the 15th time, and that'll retire the side. But the no-hitter was broken up. Hawthorne comes through with a run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left at the end of 5. Redondo Union 3, Hawthorne Cougars 1, and we're back with the 6th in a moment.
You were safe by Brad Phillips, the designated hitter.
Top of the 6th we go. Redondo up here with Brad Phillips leading it off. He's a designated hitter. Phillips is 1 for 1. Had a base hit by a pitch, and scored a run. Facing Larry Williams. That's grounded toward the hole. Nice play by Franco. Off balance, bounce, and a dig out at first base. They got him. So a nice pickup at first base by Oral Zarabria. And a good running throw on the run off balance there at short by Fernando Franco. Get the leadoff man here in the 6th inning. Corey Siegel will be the batter. Corey Siegel had a sacrifice and grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. 0 for 1. It's up high for ball 1. Larry Williams had a rocky 2nd inning where he gave up 2 runs. He gave up 1 in the 5th. But that 1 in the 5th was well earned. Although with some better luck they get him. That's off the mound and on into center field as Castellanos is not able to get it, and that'll be a base hit. So Corey Siegel with a base hit. Now if you're a Hawthorne fan, you would say to yourself, why didn't that ball for Joey Vega in the last inning do the same thing? Vega hit it almost exactly to the same spot. That one looked like it just hit off of the pitching rubber and on into center field, and of course it almost bounced to Castellanos, but he couldn't quite get there. So Nate Lacey, who had a big double, he'll be the batter. Ball bounces away. Tommy Salvatierra, a nice play to make a save on that one. Keep it from being a wild pitch. It's ball 1 to Lacey at a double, 2 RBIs, and grounded to short. Siegel the runner at first with a decent sized lead. That's a strike. They throw down and not in time. Tommy Salvatierra with that good throw. He's had some fine seasons here behind the dish for the Hawthorne Cougars. They throw to first. Want to keep this a 2-run ball game if they can. And Tommy Salvatierra, we mentioned behind the plate, and Eddie Arciniega at third are both headed to the same college. We understand, both going together. And that's a swinging strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Where's that, Pacific they're going to? University of Pacific. Where they will hopefully be playing on the baseball team. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and he gets him looking. Had him fooled on that pitch. Freezes Lacey. That's the 4th strikeout in the ball game for Larry Williams. It's 79 on the year. So back to the top of the order now for Mike Witcher, who had a big triple his last time up. He's 1 for 3, triple, a run scored, and also struck out. Hit that triple, pulled it down the line. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. That triple came with 1 out, and they were close to getting him at third base. Relay throw hit him. The throw beat him, but he kind of slid into it. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here on this mostly cloudy day in Hawthorne, California. Redondo already solidly in first. They've clinched. Hawthorne battling for second. They need to take second or third to get into the playoffs. That's grounded in the hole. Nice diving play by Castellanos. It goes off his glove. And, of course, he'd have to give him a hit there, ranging wide over to his left. Made a nice play, but not even stopped it, but couldn't come up with it. And it goes on into the outfield, so it's another base hit for Witcher. Multi-hit ball game, runners on first and second. If he doesn't get there, you're looking at first and third. But instead, there's first and second with 1 out. But the meat of the order scheduled up, Zach Fraser. He's 0 for 2 and was hit by a pitch his last time up. Fastball outside. Larry Williams has thrown a lot of pitches this afternoon. And there's nothing doing in the Hawthorne bullpen at the moment. They know they've got another big game coming up. Takes something off of that one, and he swings through it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Zach Fraser's the left fielder. Hawthorne set up for a double play, and they could get it there. They're going to take it to the bag, and that is 3 outs. So we lost. Your announcer lost track of the outs, telling you they need set up for double play, and all they needed was 1. How about that? I'll resign. Side is retired. They leave 2 on with 2 hits. Going to the bottom of the 6th, it's 3-1 Redondo in favor of Hawthorne. Back with the bottom of the 6th inning in a moment. Well, the game getting late, and the Hawthorne Cougars go back to the top of the order. Eddie Arciniega to lead it off. He's 0 for 2, facing Jeff Stimson. Stimson's allowed 1 run on 3 hits, and his team Redondo leads 3-1, trying to stay undefeated in the Ocean League. Arciniega takes ball 2. Eddie Arciniega now hitting .371 on the year. And he takes ball 3. Eddie Arciniega leads the team in walks. He would like number 16 right here, like nothing better. And Stimson with one that's right down the pipe. 3 balls and 1 strike. Eddie Arciniega, we mentioned going with Tommy Salvatierra to Pacific University next year. And it's ball 4. Eddie Arciniega, leadoff base runner here in the bottom of the 6th. That brings the tying run to the plate. Fernando Fernie Franco hitting .357, gone 0 for 2 on the day. Until that walk, Jeff Stimson had retired the top of the order, both times up, top 3 men in the order, going 0 for 6 until that base on balls. And of course, Arciniega a threat to steal. Has a decent lead. Pitch to Franco, has an idea about bunting and watches in for a call strike. You're on Lawndale Community Cable, Channel 22. Lawndale, Hawthorne, Gardena, and a couple of other places, Torrance, and even Redondo. Aren't we on in Redondo, folks? Count as no balls and 1 strike. That's outside. These pitchers have kept their respective catchers very busy this afternoon. They've had a lot of work to do. Nick Bazart, the backstop with Jeff Stimson. 1 ball and 1 strike. Will they try to put a little hit and run on here with Stimson working from the stretch? Runner doesn't go, and he swings and misses at the high fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hawthorne Cougars would like nothing better than to get that runner into scoring position. And Franco have a productive at-bat. Last 2 things they would want would be a strikeout or a double play. I think from Hawthorne's point of view, the double play would be the worst of the 2 evils. It's 1 and 2 here. And another throw. Arciniega getting the white uniform dirty. Here at Hawthorne Fields. 3-1 is fouled off. Should make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. And we do have a scoreboard here at Hawthorne, so if you forget the count, unlike down at Lusinger, where if you forget the count, you're in trouble. 1 ball and 2 strikes, set up to throw a pitch outside, and it's going to be chopped to short. They'll go the short window. They won't. They're not able to get there. Corey Siegel had that one take a wicked bounce. And how are they going to score that one? Well, they're going to give him a hit. Be interesting to see that one again. That took a wicked hop. Looked like he was in a position to field it, but the way that ball bounced. I think basically our official scorer says because of the bounce, you'd have to give him a hit. Well, we're going to have a little pitching change. Tim Amantorp on his way to the mound, and we'll take a little break in the action here. We're in the 6th inning. It is 3-1 Redondo. Back with a pitching change in a moment. First pitch to the batter gets away. Larry Williams at the plate. Jeff Stimson stays in the game to pitch. The change that was made is a designated hitter came into the ball game in left. He's going to left field. Brad Phillips, a designated hitter, is in left instead of Zach Fraser. But Jeff Stimson in a little bit of trouble here, in danger of giving up the tying runs. That ball hit to deep center field, way back there, and did it bounce over? It's going to be a clean double. It's not a ground rule double, it's a clean double. It's a long double. And 2 runs batted in for Larry Williams, and the score is tied at 3-3. Well, he gave that ball a ride. Nate Lacey not able to get there. And it was not a ground rule double. We saw it take a bounce, but it stayed in play. Both runners scoring easily. And the Hawthorne Cougars getting rich here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They've tied the score with still nobody out. And Tommy Salvatierra, who's gone 0 for 2, retired on a controversial play his last time up. A chance to, if nothing else, move the runner along. He takes a call strike. Well, we noted the change in the defense. Designated hitter Brad Phillips in the ball game in left field for Zach Fraser. And it's outside. Jeff Stimson having all kinds of problems in this inning. He surrendered the tying runs. In a danger of giving up the go-ahead. See if he can bear down. It's fouled off, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He had a no-hitter going through 4 1/3 innings. And Tommy Salvatierra grounded out on a controversial play. Davis Rowe dribbled the ball at second a couple of times, threw it on over to first, and umpire in the field, Sean Talbot, called him out on a play where it looked like he was safe. And right after that, Paul Newton came up and grounded the ball right back through the box to break up the no-hitter. That bounces, but not far enough. Nick Bazart making a nice block. And there's a left-hander warming up down in the Redondo bullpen. So if Tommy Salvatierra gets on, you have to figure they will go to the pen. That ball is hitting the air to the right side. It's going to be trouble. It's in no man's land, and it is a foul ball. Just landed foul on the chalk down the right field line. Ball would have been hard to catch. Nobody able to get there. If that's a fair ball, you're looking at probably first and third. Of course, the base runner, Larry Williams, had to hold up at second. See if that ball would be caught with nobody out. So Tommy Salvatierra with a battle at the plate. Jeff Stimson would like to retire him without seeing him at least advance the runner. Just missed outside. So he's gone full to Salvatierra. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Paul Newton is on deck. And the Arciniega started the inning off with a walk. Fernando Franco had a very bad hop base hit. And here's the payoff. That's grounded towards second. They will move the runner up. And a throw to first retires Salvatierra. But he gets the go-ahead run over to third with 1 out.
Now batting, Paul Newton.
So Paul Newton with a chance to give the Hawthorne Cougars a lead.
Film at 11.
See the bouncer by Rowe making the easy play. Newton broke up the no-hitters last time up, and he's hit with a pitch. Hit on the arm on the first pitch. So whereas they had to play with the infield in, they can now try to go for the double play. And with left-hand batter Angel Lopez scheduled up, I believe we will see. I think we're going to see perhaps a lefty will come in from the bullpen. Maybe not. Tim Amentorp talking to the home plate umpire. First, I guess he wanted to ask if Paul Newton made an attempt to get out of the way of that pitch. Now he's going to go to the mound and have a talk with Jeff Stimson. Of course, you got a left-hand batter, a left-hander warming up down the left field line. Percentages say you go to the lefty to pitch to Angel Lopez. But apparently he's going to stay with his pitcher, Jeff Stimson. Tim Amentorp, 14 years at Redondo. 14 years as a head coach. Played some ball at UCLA from 1976 through 79. The UCLA Bruins, and asked what position he played. He said, well, he said he was responsible for getting Don Slott to the major leagues. Basically, the way Tommy Lasorda says he was responsible for getting Sandy Koufax into the major leagues. Meaning he had few at-bats, but obviously a very good student of the game. And Don Slott did eventually make it into the major leagues. Well, the infield is going to be up. Try to cut off that lead run. Angel Lopez is the batter, first and third. And he chops one to short. They will be able to hold the runner. And the out is made at first. So that's what Redondo wanted. Lopez hitting the chopper to short. Siegel making the play. The runner moves up. Paul Newton down to second. Oral Sarabria will be the batter. But more importantly, there are two outs. So the Hawthorne Cougars will need a base hit to get the lead run home. And it's in there for a call strike. It would be a big boost for Jeff Stimson if he could get out of this inning. He's scheduled to lead off the seventh at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. He was facing a few miles of bad road and he had nobody out. Now he's got 2 outs, and it could be number 3. Bobbled. They'll have to make the play, but in enough time. And the side is retired. So Hawthorne not able to get the lead run across, but they do tie the score. They tie it on 2 hits, no errors, hit batsman a walk, and 2 left. We are through 6 innings here at Hawthorne. It is the Hawthorne Cougars 3, Redondo Union Seahawks 3. Back with the 7th in a moment. To the 7th inning we go. Heart of the Redondo order will be up. Batters 3, 4, and 5. Jeff Stimson, who gave up the no-hitter and now has the score evened on him, will be trying to uneven it. It's in there for a call strike from Larry Williams. Stimson had a base hit and an RBI his last time up. Also stole a base on the back end of a double steal. Stimson, Andy Guy, and Nick Bizart scheduled batters. That's fouled out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hawthorne with 2 big runs in the bottom of the 6th to tie the game up. All starting with a leadoff walk by Eddie Arciniega. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Swung on and grounded to short. Franco has it. And a close play at first, but he gets the runner. 1 away. So Stimson retired. Andy Guy will be the batter. Andy Guy has walked twice, once intentionally, and flied to center field. 3-3 ball game, top of the 7th. Williams has it outside and low, 1-0. And it's hitting the air to fairly deep left field. That's way back there. And it's going to be off the fence. Lopez running it down. And it'll be a big stand-up double for Andy Guy. Driving that ball to left center field. Gives it a ride, 1-out double. That's an 8th hit surrendered on the afternoon by Larry Williams. That's the 3rd extra base hit. He's given up 2 doubles and a triple. So Nick Vizart will be trying to drive the go-ahead run in. 1 out. And the first pitch misses off the plate, 1-0. Nothing going in the Hawthorne bullpen. They tied the ball game in the bottom of the 3rd inning, rather in the bottom of the 6th inning. In the top of the 7th, Redondo Seahawks trying to regain that lead. That's in there for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Redondo got 2 in the top of the 3rd inning, top of the 2nd rather, 1 in the top of the 5th. Hawthorne came back with 1 at the bottom of the 5th and 2 at the bottom of the 6th. That's hitting the air to right center field. Lopez says he can handle it. Runner tags, makes the catch, going to try to get across over, and he'll make it. So, on the long fly ball, heads up base running by Guy. He moves over after the catch. Lopez did a nice job to catch it, comes up in a position to throw. Actually had to take maybe that extra step or two. It looked like in real motion he was in a good position to throw, but the extra step or two might have cost him the base runner. So Mark Rios with a runner at 3rd and 2 outs. He needs a 2-out single to untie the score. Rios is 0 for 2. Walked and scored a run in the 2nd inning. Runner at 3rd, 2 outs. That's an off-speed pitch for a call strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Larry Williams trying to hang in all the way. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. If you want to look ahead to the bottom of the 7th, Hawthorne Cougars will be scheduled to send up batters 7, 8, and 9. Rather 8, 9, and 1, Joey Vega, Israel Castellanos, and Eddie Arciniega. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Rios. Ground ball chopped toward short. They're going to have to make the long throw, and it is just in time. Just in time. Dangerous play from deep in the hole. Fernando Franco makes a good throw, and that'll retire the side. So a double and 1 man left on. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Redondo 3, Hawthorne 3. Back with the bottom in a moment. Joey Vega will lead it off the bottom of the 7th inning. Grounds that one in the hole. Siegel with a play. And it's dug out of the dirt. Nice play by Mark Rios. So Siegel taking it in the hole. 1 man retired here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Vega now 0 for 3. Israel Castellanos will be the batter. Castellanos is 0 for 2. Hitting .339. Castellanos grounded to the pitcher and struck out. 3-3 tie in the bottom of the 7th inning. Jeff Stimson still out there on the mound. And it's in for a call strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. These 2 teams will play again in a night game at Redondo. 1-1 pitch. And the breaking pitch is in there for the call strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So if you're Israel Castellanos' parents, sorry we have to tell you about the dubious team statistic that he holds. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He leads the team in strikeouts with 15. And unfortunately not as a pitcher. 2-2 pitch. Watches that one go way outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hawthorne would like to get him on and bring the top of the order. Up with Eddie Arciniega. Here's the payoff pitch. And make it number 16. Gets caught looking. Israel Castellano struck out for the 2nd time in the ball game. And that's 5 strikeouts on the afternoon now for Jeff Stimson. Got 110 strikeouts on the season. Back to the top of the order, Eddie Arciniega. Started the 2-run rally off in the 6th inning with a walk. Later came around to score. Watches strike 1 here. Arciniega hitting .365 on the year. Trying to do something with 2 outs. He pops this one high into the air to the right side. Witcher and Lacey. Lacey will make the catch. They go in order, and we're going to go to extra innings. So through 7 in the books. Hawthorne Cougars 3, Redondo Union Seahawks 3. Back with the 8th in a moment. To extra innings we go. Brad Phillips, who is now in left field, will lead off the 8th inning. Phillips had 1 base hit on the afternoon, 1 for 2, hit by a pitch, and scored a run. Larry Williams on to start his 8th inning of work. He's allowed 3 runs on 8 hits. All the runs are earned. That one hit to center field. Lopez back a couple of steps, and he makes the running grab for 1 out. Ball hit fairly well. Drove Lopez back a step or 2. He takes the liner. Corey Siegel is the batter. He had a hit his last time up. 1 for 2. Hit into a double play and also sacrificed. Corey Siegel at short. Here in a 3-3 ball game. Fastball for a call strike. Nothing in either bullpen right now. Both pitchers going all the way. Off speed in there for a call strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Good changeup. That is 7, 8, and 9 here in the 8th inning. 0-2. That's a line drive into the glove of shortstop Fernie Franco. And 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Nate Lacey will be the batter. Lacey 1 for 3, had a double and 2 RBIs. His big double in the 2nd inning stood up for a long time as Jeff Stimson had a no-hitter through 4 1/3 innings. He's grounded out and got caught looking. Extra innings as the sun breaks through. Tries to hold up. 2 balls and no strikes. A couple of controversial calls in this ball game. The hit batsman on Brad Phillips back in the 2nd inning that was called by umpire in the field Sean Talbot. That ball hit in the air to the right side. Paul Newton says yes. And they go in order. So 3 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th with the score tied. Hawthorne 3, Redondo 3. Back of the bottom in the moment. Fernando Franco will lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. Fernando Franco 1 for 3, had a hit and scored a run in the 6th. Facing Stimson. Low for ball 1. Hawthorne Cougar bench alive on the first base side. Now it's beginning to look like a typical Hawthorne day with the sun breaking through here in the late afternoon. Extra inning ball game. That's in for a call strike. Jeff Stimson has allowed 3 runs and 3 on 5 hits are all earned. And he gets that outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So that's 5 strikeouts on the afternoon to give him 110 for the year. And he came close to getting another, but Fernando Franco holds up. It'll be Fernando Franco, Larry Williams, and Tommy Salvatierra. 2, 3, and 4, heart of the order for Hawthorne in this 8th inning. And make that strikeout number 6 and strikeout number 111 on the season. Franco, the strikeout victim.
Now batting the pitcher, Larry Williams.
Larry Williams will be the batter. Larry Williams had the big double to tie the score. Hit a double to left center field, driving in 2 runs. And he takes something off that pitch, fouls it off. Larry Williams now with 48 RBIs on the year, hitting .570 after that hit. That was his 12th double on the year. Tries to come with smoke, but it's out of the strike zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Looking at 2 fine players right there, the pitcher and the batter. Jeff Stimson and Larry Williams, 2 competitors. Takes something off, and he hits out in the air to the opposite field. It's deep. It may go. It's way back there, and it's gone for a home run. An opposite field home run for Larry Williams in the bottom of the 8th inning. It came on a 1-1 pitch, and the Hawthorne Cougars have won the ball game by a score of 4-3. Larry Williams with power to all fields. You saw it's a 1-1 pitch, and we had been telling you all afternoon that he had not been challenging him with fastballs. He'd been trying to get him on the off-speed pitch, and that one was obviously left up, and it looked like a batting practice pitch as he was all over that one. Almost knew it was coming, didn't try to pull it, hit it into left field, and let's see if we can see this one again. Looking for the replay here as it is an extra inning win. Home run number 10 on the year, and 49 runs batted in for Larry Williams. Wins his own ball game. A 1-1 pitch, and here we go. This ball was outside and up. He goes with it, and he kind of knew it. Knew it the moment it left the bat. Gave it a charge, and it's ball game over in the books. Hawthorne Cougars with the win, and this becomes the first loss on the year. First loss in the Ocean League for Redondo. They're now 18-7, and they are now 12-1. Of course, the loss does not hurt them in the standings. They have first place nailed down. But more importantly for the Hawthorne Cougars, they now keep their playoff hopes alive. They are 18-7 overall. They are 10-3 in the Ocean League, and it depends on what Losinger Olympians do and the North Torrance Saxons do. We'll take a look at it again here. And we've been saying he did not come after him with fastball. It was obviously one that he got it up and out of the strike zone, but not much meat on it, and goes the opposite way, and you could kind of tell when he hit it well, and not much that Brad Phillips could do there, but watch it. And so their undefeated Ocean League season comes to an end, but Redondo Union will be in the playoffs and probably get a home game in the first round. Good ball game we saw today. 2 good pitchers, a couple of good hitters. Jeff Simpson not happy to give that home run pitch up. And he takes the loss here on the afternoon. The win today for Larry Williams. Larry Williams now, as a pitcher, has won his 6th game. He's 6-2. And his ERA will not fatten by that much. He came in with a 1.67 ERA, pitching 58 2/3 innings. So he's 65 2/3 innings. I used to know how to compute ERAs. Used to know how to do them off the top of my head, but won't have enough time to do it. Well, it was an interesting ball game. We mentioned the Redondo Seahawks getting off to the 2 runs early. They scored 2 in the top of the 2nd, coming on a controversial play with 1 man on a walk. Brad Phillips was at the plate, and it looked like Larry Williams threw a wild pitch to put Mark Rios down to 2nd, but the umpire in the field said no, that he was hit by the pitch, so that put 2 runners on, 1st and 2nd. Corey Siegel came up with a sacrifice to move him over to second and third, and then Nate Lacey, hitting ninth in the order, said, "I'm not a ninth place hitter," had a double up the gap for 2 RBIs to make it 2-0. Jeff Stimson was just sailing along. He had a no-hitter going through 4 1/3 innings. Coming into the top of the 5th inning, Tommy Salvatierra grounded a ball to second that Davis Rowe at second base bobbled and dribbled a couple of times through to first, and on the replay it looked like Tommy Salvatierra was safe, but he was called out. And how many times do you see after a controversial no-hitter is extended either by a call by an umpire or by an official scoring play that the next batter comes up and settles the issue? Because had this gone on to be a no-hitter, of course it would have been a very disputed one. Paul Newton comes up with a base hit to break up the no-no. Angel Lopez followed with a single, and then Oral Sarabria had a base hit and an RBI to drive in the first one in the afternoon. Hawthorne not able to do anything else as they retired Vega, Castellanos, and Eddie Arciniega. It stayed 3-1 until the 6th inning, the big 6th inning, when Eddie Arciniega led off with a walk. Fernando Franco had a base hit. Larry Williams had the big blow in the ball game. Following a wild pitch to put runners on second and third, he had a double up the gap in left center field, double and 2 RBIs to tie it. He was at second base. Tommy Salvatierra moved him up on a ground out. He was there with 1 out, but Angel Lopez and Oral Sarabria were not able to bring him in. Nothing happening again until the 8th inning. We went to extra innings, and Larry Williams retired the bottom of the order for Redondo in order. With 1 out, Larry Williams came to the plate. It was 1 ball and 1 strike, and he served one over the left field fence for a game-winning home run. So Larry Williams, the hitting star of the ball game, 3 RBIs, finishes on the day 2 for 4 with a double and the home run. And pitching-wise, he had added a couple of strikeouts to his repertoire this afternoon. He had a total of 4 altogether to give him now 79 on the year, and he's 6-2. And do we have his ERA calculated yet? No, not yet. Oh well, we'll have to let you go to bed without that. Well, we'd like to thank everyone here at Lawndale Community Cable for doing a fine job under somewhat stressful and rushed conditions this afternoon, but able to get the ball game on the air. Tom Strickfadden, the general in charge, and who else was in the crew today? Let's give you guys credit. Oh, come on, they don't know their names now. They're very modest. Eric and Jim are in the crew today doing a fine job, and let, of course, thank Linda, the baseball enthusiast, for helping us out here in the booth with the scoreboard and the scoring and the spotting and telling us everything. Well, since this is probably the last Hawthorne baseball game we're going to do this year, we'd like to wish our best of congratulations to all the Hawthorne seniors, and we wish them luck in whatever they do once they leave Hawthorne, whether it's on to college or on to another level or on to go out to work or whatever. If you don't go to college, you got to go to work, right? So we assume most of them are going to go to Hawthorne. This game has been presented by Hawthorne and Hawthorne Community Cable and Lawndale Community Cable. We thank everyone there. And until we greet you next time, this is Dave Marks speaking for everyone at Channel 22, saying so long from Hawthorne with the final score today. Hawthorne Cougars 4, Redondo Union Seahawks 3. Good day, everybody.